Hello, I'm Chef Sarah Tresser, Baking Application Specialist here at Blodgett, and today we're going to do some cooking on your DFG XCEL. But before we start, I have some general guidelines for you. First, you should set your oven temperature 25 to 50 degrees less than you normally would if you used a range or a deck. Also, I would preheat your oven 25 to 50 degrees above your desired temperature, so that way you can compensate when you open the doors and you load your oven. Especially watch this when you have a full load. If you're new to convection ovens, your cook times may vary based on the size of your load. So I would start checking about halfway through your normal cook time. And then last but not least, the fans must be running for the oven to heat. I'm going to show you how to do some French fries, which we have here on the fry pan. We have roasted potatoes and a frozen macaroni and cheese. A quick tip with your French fries, make sure that you evenly distribute throughout your pan, maybe even leaving a little less in the center that way it's evenly browns throughout. Also, with the roasted potatoes here, we're just going to do some simple Idaho potatoes with olive oil, salt, and pepper. And then the frozen macaroni and cheese, which we'll keep the lid on for a while and then pull it off to let it brown up after it starts to bubble. One beautiful option with this oven is that you have the choice of using 60,000 or 80,000 BTU. With a load like this, being frozen macaroni and cheese and frozen French fries, I would actually suggest to use your 80,000 BTU, so that way when you load with the frozen product and your temperature of your oven drops, you get that faster recovery, and it will actually help you cook a little quicker. And now we're going to load the oven. So now that we've loaded our oven, I'm going to give you a couple tips on our load. Right here we have just some simple sugar cookies and some muffins. For baking, I would suggest to use a 60,000 BTU and start with your low fan and maybe finish with the high. And what I mean by saying that is, with your cookies, if you start with a low fan, it allows your cookies to spread a little bit more, and if you find that they're spreading a little too much, then you might need to go right up to high fan just to set them and finish. And then for your muffins, the benefit of having a 2-speed fan, with the low fan you will allow it to rise up gently and get a little skin on it, and then you put it into high fan to finish, and that will help reduce that leaning, because when the high fan is hitting on a batter like this, it's very fragile and it can actually start to push them aside. So if you start with the low fan and then finish with the high fan, you'll get a better result. So for roasting in your convection oven, I have a couple tips for you. One, I would take a hotel pan and fill it about halfway full of water and put it on the bottom rack of your oven. This will help reduce shrinkage. One thing to remember though is never place anything directly onto the floor or the bottom of the oven. This will restrict airflow and create an undesirable bake. For our roast, here I have a roast placed on a roasting rack within a pan, and that's so I can catch the juices so we can create gravy afterwards. So now that our bake is done, I'd like to just give you a quick little recap of all the things that we've learned here today. Just the benefits of having a low and a high-speed fan, starting with the low fan to help your cookies spread, and then switching to high to not spread too much. Allowing your muffins to come up gently and then switch to high, so you reduce that leaning. And also the benefits of the 80,000 BTU, and when you're doing a heavy load with frozen product and fresh product, just heavy loads, it recovers faster and it will cook quicker. Well, I hope you enjoy your DFG XCEL, and thank you very much.